Crouch to the world and back, baby. Look.
When they ask for a picture, what do I do? That's the pose that I choose. You can do it too, just start traveling. When they ask for a photo, what do I show? That's the pose that I know. You can do it so, explore different cultures. When they ask for a picture, what do I do? That's the pose that we do. You can do it too, just come true. Explore different cultures, learn something new. Picturesque photos, lifestyle loco. Crazy adventures, jungles, oh no. Food taste. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Zimobi, aka Zilla Vale, aka Mr. Crouch himself. Alright, cool.
You're saying something. It cannot be. I mean, you are not in the.
I'm not even in the shoot. Alright, cool.
You were like.
You were in the shit.
Oh,
It's really bad.
Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Zimobi, aka Zilla Vale. Oh, wait, can you see me? It's your boy Zilla. Okay, cool. Maybe you don't need to. Okay, cool. Alright, I got it. Don't worry, I got it. So I told you it's gonna go wrong.
What do you want the thing?
Yeah. Alright, cool. On three, yeah?
Careful with that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Alright,
Chill.
3, 2, 1. Alright. Yo people, it's your host with the most, Zimobi, aka Zilla Vale, aka Mr. Young Crouch himself, aka this, that, aka anyway. We have here a very special guest, the second ever guest on the Young Crouch Travel Show. It's your boy
Dani?
Welcome to your own home.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. So
Pleasure, man.
yeah, I actually know Dani from university, and we were on the same course. But today I thought, let's speak to Dani about some of his travel experiences on a different side, because we talk about everything else. We talk about. What do we talk about?
Love?
What's that?
I don't know.
What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Yeah, we talk about all different things in life, to be fair. Like, we can have a drunk conversation about politics, and then we can have a sober conversation about like plants that grow in a weird direction. So anyway, interesting character he is. Interesting character. So before we get started properly, I want to do this thing where I introduce you, and then you introduce yourself in another language.
Okay.
So without cheating, disclaimer, he's Spanish. So his native language is Spanish, right? So this is Dani Cross from Ceuta. Now, is there any way you can introduce yourself like that, but in a different language? Mm-hmm. Go on. Not Spanish.
Not Spanish.
Not Spanish.
What the fuck? Ok, I will do in Italian.
Go on.
Io sono Daniele Croce, io vengo della Spagna, Ceuta. That's it, it's fine. Do you want more?
I mean, I can't verify that that's true, but it sounds correct. It sounds alright. Okay, so I need to do it as well. So my name is Zim. I'm from Streatham. So I could do that in French. So je m'appelle Zim Obi, et j'habite en Streatham. So we both did the challenge well.
Good. Cheers to that.
Salute.
Salute.
You have to have eye contact as well when you do that. Otherwise, it's 10 years of bad luck.
I have already 50 years about that.
I believe that as well. Okay, cool. Next challenge. How many languages can you say sorry in? And I'm going to give you 20 seconds to say, to list in different languages you can say sorry in. Yeah, so starting from now.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Sorry. Perdón.
Mm-hmm.
Signomi.
Mm-hmm.
Anteski.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Scusa.
Mm-hmm.
Obrigado. No, that's thank you. That's it.
That's it.
Japanese.
3 seconds left.
Japanese.
You got 5.
Yeah,
that's decent. That's a new record, because no one else has done it before. But yeah, I like that. I don't know if I can compete with that, so yeah, I'm not gonna try. What
Come on,
about?
you have to try.
Sorry, but the thing is, I can take the ones that you've just said. You know.
But you don't remember them.
I do.
Okay.
Perdone, scusa, pardon. Sorry. In Igbo we say ndo. How do you say it in? No, I just don't want to show you up, so I'm gonna leave it as that.
Continue.
The next one is I'm sexy. Do you know? This one I'll give you less time, but do you know many other languages that you can say that in?
Maybe few.
Really? You're that confident? How many?
4.
4. List them.
I'm sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yo soy sexy. Yo sono sexy. Je suis très sexy.
Yeah, to be fair, that's not wrong.
That's it. No, sexy is
That's a good.
it's an easy word. It's international.
Okay, that was a little warm up. You did well, by the way.
Thank you.
Well done. So I want to delve in a little bit deeper about like what inspires you to travel. So me personally, coming from Streatham Vale in South London, I found that just being a Londoner as a whole, it's quite a diverse city. You get different types of people within different areas. So it almost feels like you're in different countries when you go to different places, which is nice. I love that. And especially when I went to my first uni, there were actual international people from different countries on my course, which was even better. So I wanted to travel to those places where they came from and learn a bit more about the culture, like authentically. And then I watched a movie called The Art of Travel. So that movie basically taught me to face my fears, like to do things that are uncomfortable. So that's my story about it. When you go on holiday, is it based on maybe you like a song from that country but you don't understand the language so you want to feel it more, or is it like you've heard about one of the landmarks and you want to see it for yourself in person, or you just have a group of friends that you want to have fun with, get fucked up? And what's the biggest factor?
First, I would say like my case is totally different than yours because I'm from a small city and I didn't have that international atmosphere at first. But also that made me obligate me to move to study abroad. So that was kind of my first trip. I still was in Spain. Okay. But like after a time, I was realizing like maybe I need to get out of my comfort area. So that's why I went for Erasmus. And that was, let's say, my starting point. Also because I don't like flying. That's a big constraint. So that helped me, that feeling of, okay, let's get out of the comfort area. That helped me to overcome that problem. So that was the first, let's say, why did I travel the first time? You know, to say, okay, I'm able to do it. But now, as you said, like there are so many different reasons why you travel, right? Either for friends, to visit friends, to like see things that you normally see like in the media, in internet or something, and I want to be there actually. But I like to say like it's more like a random thing. So you are talking with your friends and suddenly say, let's go here. Why? No reason. Maybe for like stupid thing like, yeah, because I saw a friend who went there and I want to visit this place.
Okay. Would you say that you have a lot of spontaneous friends that they will just do something on a whim rather than like planning it well in ahead? You just have friends that, yeah, let's just do this. Yeah,
that's the ideal. Yeah. But at the end, you have to plan it in advance, you know? Okay. The first idea is like, yeah, let's do this. And then you start like planning, and then, yeah, but it's a mix of that.
Okay, cool. No. Would you say that your parents, because you said you come from a small town, that desire you had to get out of your comfort zone, was that pushed by any of your parents, or was it just something in you?
I would say like maybe my mother doesn't like to travel. Yeah. But my father does.
Was she afraid of flights, or?
Maybe yes. She haven't yet visited me here. In 3 years.
Maybe she still likes you, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think it goes with your friends. You know, you grow in the uni and you meet more friends, and maybe they have those interests, and you want to share with them, and then you feel like, okay, I need to do this.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
something that suddenly happens to you. At least for me.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Obviously, I mentioned the film that I was into, and like meeting people from uni who are from different countries, and they were like, once you graduate, just come to their place. You know, I went to Granada with you. That was good fun. You know, also I mentioned music, right? Now, music and film are like big inspirations of mine in general, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to like wanting to visit another country, a lot of the time it's because of a scene that I've watched in a movie or like a song that I've been really into and it represents the culture of that country. So anime, for instance, little example, growing up on anime culture, growing up on karate, different martial arts and stuff, that's one of the reasons why I really want to go to Japan.
Yeah,
right?
I have the same feeling.
You
exactly
know,
the same feeling. Yeah.
There's the same, yeah?
Yeah.
With, for instance, we were just listening to some of Dave's music, and Dave is obviously from Streatham, where I'm from. And for you, being a native Spanish speaker, I can imagine. I know you're into Biggie as well.
Yeah.
So listening to rap in English when you didn't even understand English, I can imagine maybe that made you wanted to go to English countries and. Like,
the thing is, I've been listening English music since always, so you don't realize that this is actually come from another another country.
Okay,
you know, like when you're down, then you just grow up and you see like, oh, this come from England, this come from USA, this come from whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not like I need to go to London just to see this rapper because it was always in my house.
It was always in the house. Yeah.
For example, the Beatles. I listened to the Beatles since always because my father is a big fan.
True.
I knew they were from Liverpool, but until like I went to Liverpool last year. But before that, I didn't have the
feeling.
I wanted to go, but it wasn't like a big thing because they were in my house every day.
Every day, yes.
But when I went there, it was like, oh,
wow,
this is real. They started here. They do all the stuff here.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, because maybe that's a different perspective because UK, or not UK music, just Anglophone music is around the world, right? But because it's around the world and I'm interested in other cultures, when I see like a scene or like a development in music from another country getting big in the Anglophone world, I need to go to the origin. So let's say with French, for instance, every school that I've been to, they've taught French to some capacity. So from primary school, they were like, when I was like 7, 8, I had a teacher that was speaking French. So I know the fundamentals, always know the fundamentals. But as I grew up, I realized that aside from knowing the language, the basics, I liked just the culture in different ways. So there was an advert that I used to love because I used to love yogurt. Really random. But do you know Petit Filou, the yogurt? No, you've never heard of it. Petit Filou was the best yogurt ever. I had it for packed lunch every day, right? And yogurt, yeah. Petit Filou. And
Petit Sweet.
Yeah.
Petit Sweet.
Yeah, we call it Petit Filou, yeah. And it made your bones.
Pink one.
It made your bones go stronger, right? So the girl,
sugar, but
yeah, it's not healthy. It's not, but it made the advertisement made it feel like it was healthy.
Yeah.
Anyway, the girl in the advert, I used to just want to be friends with her. I wanted to get to know her, right? And every time I saw the advert, I was like, yeah, I need to be in that place.
Yeah.
So I envisaged myself in France. I used to think it was Italy, so I had that's one of the reasons why Italy and France are like one of my favorite places to go to, or like countries. So yeah, I envisioned that.
I have something similar. In Spain, we have this art about the yogurt as well. As it was Greek yogurt.
Okay.
And they picture the scenes in an island, really nice sea, and they say Chronia que Chronia, and this fucking Greek Chronia que Chronia means like for years and years, like for the whole history. So
okay.
And I didn't know, but it was like, oh, this is I really want to go to that beach, you know, and have that yogurt and say Chronia que Chronia. I didn't know what it means till I came here and someone told me.
That's a different category, yeah, because Like I mentioned music, I mentioned film. What's that category? Isn't really film. It's I guess adverts. Adverts. Yeah.
You grow up with that.
Yeah, you grow up with it. Yeah, I've never heard of it, but yeah, good to know. Thanks. I'm gonna check that out next time I go to Greece.
We have a joke in there.
And okay, yeah. So when you are in these places, right? Obviously, I guess it depends on who you go with, but is there one thing that you must do when you go abroad? So, for instance, for me, I must get to know about the history of that place.
Yeah.
I always go on free walking tours, whichever city I go to.
Yeah.
Would you say that's similar to you?
Yeah, I travel a lot around Europe, and I think in all the cities I have this free tour, and you know about the history. Mm-hmm. But I think my favorite thing, I guess this is for everyone, like trying to do like really local stuff. I try to avoid the tourists, but at the end it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult. So yeah, I always. I mean, even if you look in Google, like best cultural places or local places in this city, Zagreb. I went to Zagreb by myself. I didn't know anyone in Zagreb to ask like what to do here. So I went to Google, and they suggest the most common places, and I went there, and they were just tourist places. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'm gonna just find by myself. And I found this little bar for like, it was very very small, like tables for 1, 2, and I think spot on. It was the perfect place, local food, it was a grandma cooking.
I love that.
And I said, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't find that in Google. I just walked myself. You know?
I think Airbnb experiences, that's something that you can find this sort of stuff with. But they've only recently started doing it, well, just before the pandemic. But yeah, you can go to like a home in Mexico, and like a grandma will just cook you like traditional Mexican. I love that sort of stuff. So another thing, would you say you prefer solo holidays or group holidays?
Well,
and there's a follow-up.
What I've seen, I just say that I did this solo trip. I think it was good, it was nice, good experience, but I'd rather have my best friends.
Yeah. Not just
it doesn't have to be best friend, but people that they follow you. You know, you can do, they're not gonna put some barriers to things, you know? If you feel like I want to do this, they will follow. And if they say I want to do this, you will follow them, because probably it's a good idea as well.
So they've got a similar mindset to you.
Exactly, similar mindset.
Yeah. Now, some of the best people that I've gone on holiday with, I didn't know. I met them on tour. So, for instance, when I went to Peru, we went to like the Machu Picchu tour, and like there were people from Germany, from France, USA, all over, other Brits as well, and had no clue who they were beforehand. But we met up, bonded, you know, because when you have people,
with the same mentality,
the same mentality.
Yeah.
You know, if they're looking to hike like you, then you know you're bound to have like things in common. Do you prefer, or do you like hikes, or do you like more, say, luxury, more chilled?
Yeah, well, let's say that there's a time for everything. If I got to choose, I would go more for the hiking stuff, because you probably will see more real things.
Yeah.
Let's say you would go for like see castles, monuments, mountains, things that is not like they made like this resort, super expensive resort, and you go to Cancun and it's gonna be sick, you know, it's gonna be really cool, and but it's not the same vibes.
Not the same.
I'm not saying that vacations are wrong or not cool or something, but it's the way I see it, I will enjoy more that.
Fair enough. I think for me, my favorite holiday was kind of unexpected because it's quite local. I went to Portugal with my group of friends, and pretty much the whole of London were out there as well. It was for a festival called Afro Nation. Best holiday ever. And you know, you could go to Portugal anytime, like as a Brit, right? But it was the Algarve, the sun was out, like the music was amazing, like the vibes were there. Did things that I wouldn't normally do, like we were going on yachts, We went backstage,
Yeah.
took scooters, fell over, did all the things that that you just wouldn't be able to do in London because of the weather or like not having a beach and things like that. But the whole of London were there, all of your people were there, staying in nice hotels. It was just like a luxury but fun holiday at the same time.
Yeah.
And the people are like who you love. I think that's the key.
You know, with my friends, the most typical trip we do is road trips.
Yeah.
We've been to Scotland, France, and Croatia doing road trips. For me, that's the best because you can have everything in there. Because you can go to like a town and have a party there, or you can go to the outskirts of I don't know, like to a village and have like a nice hiking as well and see those monuments and then see the clubs and go out and go to the beach and then go to the mountain. You can have everything.
All options.
You can have everything.
That's true.
And if like that's also like connected to the previous one. If you go with the right friends, even that part of the trip that you are in the car, or you spend like 4 or 5 hours in the car. Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Because they are your friends. You
play
talk
games
bullshit. You
a
play
bit.
games. That's another
exactly.
like. Some people say, this is boring. All the time traveling. No, but I really like that part of the trips as well. So yeah, I guess this is my best trip.
I 100% get what you mean. People. A lot of the time they look too much at the destination. Sometimes focus on the journey. Yeah, the journey is important, man. Yeah. Like I think we just found a new quote. I think we just found a new quote. Sometimes look for the appreciate the journey as much as the destination.
Yeah. Totally.
Another quote, which kind of interesting because I mentioned one of my favorite movies ever, The Art of Travel. It's based on a book called The Art of Travel, and the author is incredible. A philosopher, but basically I've had this ethos and the quote is, one must get lost to find oneself. And since thinking of that,
you think about it,
it's simple, as simple as it is, it helps you appreciate like when you are somewhere. Like I've been on coaches to a random destination, and in the coach journey we see like the horizons, like the greenery, and you just appreciate that, and it gives you time to yourself to think. At the same time you can chat and chill with the other people that are on the journey. It's just as meaningful as when you're say at the peak of a mountain. Obviously when you're at the peak of a mountain or a valley or something like that, you can be like, wow,
I reached this.
Yeah. But sometimes like the journey is just as important. So yeah. One more quote to leave you with. One more quote to leave you with. So I'm thinking on the spot, by the way, because I gave you one of my best ones, but I've got another one. And it is, if you don't go to somewhere that you don't know about, then I'm making up stuff. I'm making up shit. Anyway, that's for the Young Crutch Travel Show. I've been your host, Zilla Vale, aka Mr. Young Crutch himself, and this has been my special guest, Dani. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Right, guy. Cool.
Pleased to be here.
I got pins and needles, bro.